Good morning, welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you're just joining us now. It's lovely to be seeing you, and I'll look at the screen in a moment and see who's all watching. First of all, I just want to introduce what we're thinking about today. We're thinking about a gate. Now, actually, shall I come a bit closer? That's not showing up that's it. Maybe that shows up against my black shirt there. So we've got a gate. We can't get through the gate, can we? But in our story today, we realise that a gate is opened and we can get through the gate. Just like that. So we get through the gate. Okay? So, piece of string. We'll come back to that later on, hopefully, and hopefully I'll be able to show it to you actually live as we go through. I'm sure that some of you know that trick. It's not difficult. It's on YouTube in a number of formats, the wonders of finding all these things. But it's lovely to be welcoming some people. Caden, great to see that you're with us today, Caden. I saw Sophie's name earlier. Becky's there, so I dare say that everyone is there. So that's lovely to see you all. So that's Kimberly, Jonathan, Nicola and Madeline. Hope you're all well as you, Becky and Lee, of course. Agatha was there because Laura was there. Oh, it's good. It's all good that you're here and with us. And I'm assuming, because she was at the first one, so I saw Alison's name, so I dare say that Hayley is with us as well. And Lily and Rebecca will be with us because Emma's there. Fantastic. Lovely to welcome you all today. So our story today, if you didn't hear it earlier, is all about Jesus. And they often are, aren't they? But it's one where he often he says, I'm like the shepherd. Oh, and Amber's there. Amber, good to see you. Excellent that you're with us as well, Amber. Great to see you. And of course, Adele, lovely to see you as well. Jesus often calls himself a shepherd rather, the shepherd who looks after the sheep. He uses lots of different ways to help us understand him a bit better. But in today's reading, he said, I'm like a gate. Really? A gate? But that's something solid. Looking at different things you can be making. Bit like a solid gate, like that, which swings on a hinge. It can swing on a hinge like that, can't it? It's excellent. But Jesus is like a gate. That doesn't make sense, does it? But what he's saying is when you're looking after sheep, in Jesus' day, and a lot of his stories were all about farming, because lots of people, there were more farmers in those days than there were people living in cities and towns and things. And so he used lots of different farming images and ideas to help us understand. And so he talked about being a shepherd looking after sheep. And in those days, what used to happen was there'd be often a circular stone wall with a narrow entrance through which the sheep went in and went out. There was only one way in and one way out. But there wasn't a gate. There wasn't anything where you could actually swing a gate on it like that. Instead, it was open. So what do you think they did? Because during the day, the shepherd would walk the sheep around, get them onto all the good grass so that they could eat, they could chomp away and graze on that all day. But at night, now there were dangerous predators around. Animals that would want to attack the sheep and drag them off and eat them. And the shepherd's job, of course, was to make sure that the sheep were protected. So what do you think they did? Of course, they brought the sheep up to the sheep pen, got them through the narrow entrance, and then, where there isn't an actual gate, the shepherd, boy or girl or whoever, they would sit in the entrance and they'd fall asleep there overnight. And they would be like the gate. So any time that anything came up, they were the first ones to protect the shepherd. They would, oh, sorry, Helen's there. So Emma and Harry are there. Lovely to see you. Or not see you, hopefully you seeing me. They would be there with the shepherd's crook and defending the sheep from anything that would be attacking, like a wolf or a bear or anything else. And so Jesus likened himself to being that gate, because it was through that gate that you came in and out. Now, sometimes, and I wonder if some of you still remember having play gates or stair gates in the house to stop you going somewhere. At the time you thought it wasn't fair, did you? Maybe some of you tried to climb over them and maybe hurt yourself trying to climb. Well, whatever. Hopefully you didn't. But those gates were there to protect you, to keep you safe rather than wandering around the house or wandering outside or wherever. And that's the same thing. While Jesus is the gate at the sheep pen, it means that he protects us, keeps us safe. But it means also that when he lets the sheep out, he leads them off to the best bits of grass to eat and all that sort of stuff. So it's really important to remember that Jesus is all of those things for us. He protects us, but he also wants us to have the best life possible. In our full reading today, he says that right at the end of our reading, he says, I have come that we may have life. Jesus has come that we may have life, and life to the full. Isn't that fantastic? He wants us to have the best life, and with him we can, if we follow him. And also in this reading it says that he leads the way by calling us by name. Now, when we've got sheep over here, when we've got flocks of sheep, we tend to, in Britain, we tend to drive on behind the sheepdogs, pushing them on. But what Jesus did, he did a different style. He would call out and the sheep would follow him because they knew the name, the voice of the shepherd. And that's what Jesus does for us. He calls each one of us by name. So he calls out to all of us. I was going to list all the names, but I'm fearful of doing that because I suspect I will forget some of them, and I don't want to forget you again. So I'm not going to. But if it was for me and for Marlene, who's sitting in here with me, we hear Jesus saying, Marlene, Ken, follow me. And so we follow, and it's the best life because we follow him. Sometimes there are times when we really need his help to get through what he's called us to do. But it's the best thing to do because afterwards it's always the best thing. So it might be tricky at the moment to stay in, but actually we're being kept safe. And God wants to keep us safe, but he also wants us to have the best life as well, even while we're safe. Now, let's think about a couple of things you could do after this time. You could make yourself a beautiful gate. Now, that's kind of all the things you need on there, on that piece of paper. A few lolly sticks, so get chomping on those lollies. Going to be a warm week this week, so hopefully, or warmer later in the week, maybe you'll have some lollies then. And you can make up a gate, and the heart on it, that red heart, you could write on it something, well, you could write a verse from the Bible reading. Something like, yes, I am the gate. Those who come in through me will be saved. And that's actually from John's Gospel, chapter 10, verses 1 to 10. Okay, so you could write that on it. So eventually you put it all together and it looks like that. Or in real life, like that. A beautiful one that Marlene made up. Now, you'll notice on this, you've got that card. Now that is to form the backing for you to put everything on, and also to fit. If you want to hang it on the wall, you can put this extra, this is a pipe cleaner or a piece of string or whatever. So when I was showing you before, I showed you like the gate, but then you can hang it on the wall. And that heart you can write anything you like on, couldn't you? So that's something you could maybe make up. And now I'm going to really try and do this again. Do that gate through which Jesus is both protecting us and keeping us. So, are you ready? Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to stand up a bit, crouch down. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to do this really quickly, and so you probably won't be able to follow. But that looks impressive, doesn't it? I've never done this sort of thing until last night, but here we go. Thumbs down onto the pinky strings there. Pinkies come up to the thumb strings there. I think it's looking right at the moment. So you've got something that looks like that. Honestly, YouTube videos are a lot better than this one. and then you let everything go. Is it going to work? It's going to work. I hope it's going to work. Oh, get your fingers through these bits, and as you pull, you discover, oh no, we've got the gate again, no way through. And that's how it is at night. Jesus would be protecting us as the gate to the sheep pen. But then in the morning, new opportunities arise and the gate opens up and there's a way through. We can climb through, take all the opportunities and give and take all that God is offering us in our world today and for our lives today. So, and it goes back because, so you haven't ruined a piece of string. It doesn't get knotted. If you get it right, hopefully. Anyway, God bless you. Let's say a prayer as we close our time together. Lord, we do thank you for being with us. We thank you that you help us to get the best out of our lives. But thank you that you protect us as well as offer us the best. That you keep danger away as well as opening the door and giving us opportunities. And so I pray that we will take the opportunities that you give us in our lives and that you will protect us and bless us this week and always. Amen.
Amen.
So, I hope you have some fun with that. Parents, I apologise now because if you are tasked with that throughout the afternoon, I do apologise, but hey, not quite what else have you got to do because you've got lunch to get and everything else, but I hope it does work and it kind of, I'm so happy I'm going to do that all afternoon. God bless you, it's lovely to see you and hopefully see you again soon. Take care, have a great week, bye for now.